Section 5 is a quick section about a meaningful message and finding the big idea. So what do we mean when we say a meaningful message? Well, when you're thinking about your product, you know what's going to set it apart from the competition, and you know the target market because you designed the product to meet that target market's needs. So now we have to make sure the customer clearly understands why this product is better than its competitors. So we start with a positioning statement, and this is a brief statement that articulates how the marketer would like the target market to envision a product relative to the competition. So a positioning statement is considered to be a success when it gives rise to a big idea. When you're thinking about a positioning statement, how do I want people to see my product? This is going to start a lot of action. It's going to get the whole marketing process rolling. Well, one way it's going to do this is it starts the groundwork for the promotional campaign and how that campaign is going to be developed. It's going to be given, this positioning statement will be given to the marketing teams and advertising consultants to develop the promotional message. So this statement is going to help lead to the promotional message in the marketing campaign. And then what we need to remember is that a meaningful message in one country might not be the same in another country. So a message that works in the U.S. may not be the same overseas. So it's very important when planning to develop a message to use in other countries. Now we're at our final section of chapter 6, which is the promotional mix, communicating the big idea. So we've gotten our message, and now we want to get that message to the right people through promotional channels, which are specific marketing communication vehicles that communicate the message to the proper individuals. These promotional channels can be broken down into two types of marketing tools. The first one is the leading edge, and the second one is traditional. Leading edge tools are those that were created recently and they're growing in popularity today. So you can see these. Social media is one that you are probably seeing more of, but these are also others that are popular or what we call leading edge. I want to talk about product placement. If you're watching a movie or a TV show and you see a product in there that's placed there, you have seen product placement. They're advertising that product. And so if someone is using an Apple Mac computer in a scene, they're advertising, or Coke or Pepsi or any product. If it makes it in the scene, that is an example of product placement. Advergaming is advertising products in video games, and ESPN has done wonders with this by having their announcers appear in video games. And buzz marketing, this is word of mouth approach to marketing. You ensure that a few people are informed of the many benefits of your product, and then they spread the word. Sponsorships. Many companies are increasing their budgets so they can include sponsorships. And just about every event today has some sort of sponsor. Even in high school sports, you see that. Now here are the more traditional promotion tools of advertising. And I'm sure you're familiar with these, and these are not going anywhere. Advertising is paid non personal communication designed to influence a target audience about your product or idea. Advertising is not used just to generate sales, it's also used to build an image or reputation among customers. Advertising hasn't really changed much, but the way that we advertise has changed some. Sales promotion, these are marketing activities designed to stimulate immediate sales activity through specific short-term programs aimed at either consumers or distributors. There are two categories of sales promotion: consumer and trade. Consumer focuses on the individual consumer using such methods as premiums, promotional products, samples, coupons, rebates, and displays. Trade promotion focuses on wholesalers and distributors, and these are offers extended to only those two groups in order to enhance sales. Public relations is the effort to create positive relationships with all of a firm's different publics, from the consumer to the employees. The goal of public relations is to boost demand by generating positive publicity. Of course, I'm sure you can give examples of companies that have had positive publicity and companies that have not. But publicity is unpaid stories in the media that influence perceptions about a company or its product. So I would say the advantages of publicity is that it's usually credible and almost free, and the greatest disadvantage of publicity is that the marketer doesn't have control over how the company or its products are portrayed. And then personal selling is person to person presentation of products to potential buyers. Personal selling is the world's oldest form of advertising, and having knowledgeable people is in strategic places will help ensure clear communication of the intended message. In today's competitive environment, personal selling is a success only when it builds relationships on a long-term basis. I can give an example here of personal selling when we hired a realtor to help us purchase our home when we moved to Mississippi, and he provided personal selling. He provided his expertise. He helped us find our home. So that is a great example of personal selling. Here are the steps to the sales process. So you have prospect and qualify. So a prospect means identifying your customer or a potential customer, and qualify means you chose those that are likely to buy your product. Next, you have prepare. So before making a sales call, you have to do your homework. Research is critical, especially in business to business environment. You need to know your information and be able to answer questions. So preparation is very important. Present. And present is where you make the sales pitch to the customer. And it should match, your presentation should match the feature of the products to the benefits that the customer seeks. So this is when when you present, you've done all your research and you are ready and prepared. And then you have to be ready to handle objections. Remember, many times people are going to justify why they don't want or need a product. So you have to be prepared to keep them interested in the product. Objections do give the individual a chance to learn more about the needs of their prospects, and to elaborate on the benefits of their products. So once you've handled the objections, you're ready to close the sale. It should flow naturally from these prior topics, but it often doesn't. Sealing the deal can be tough. Once you have closed the sale, it's time to follow up, and this is when you get feedback from the customer about the entire process, including how they use the product. The quality of service and support does play a crucial role in future sales, especially if you are trying to get the customer to come back. So you want to follow up, you want to provide quality service so that you can get the sale, because getting those sales is much easier than finding brand new prospects. The promotional mix varies dramatically among different industries, but even within specific industry segments, it's not just a science. The best approach may simply be to consider the product characteristics. You know your product. Now think about how to best let others know about your product. Then ask yourself how that message can be communicated. Can you reach customers through advertising or personal selling or other means that we discussed? The product life cycle. Where are you in the life cycle? Remember the exhibit we looked at? Is this a new product or one that is in a maturing cycle, or even a product that's in decline? This is going to help guide your focus. Then you have your target audience. Where are my customers? Where do they work? Where do they live? And how can I reach that target audience? Another consideration is push versus pull. Push is a marketing approach that involves motivating distributors to heavily promote or push a product to final consumers. And this is usually through heavy trade promotion and personal selling. Pull strategy is a marketing approach that involves creating demand from the ultimate consumers so that they pull your products through the distribution channels by actively seeking them. Another thing to consider is the competitive environment. How many competitors do you have? Is the market share, how's it divided? Are you attempting to build a niche or set a market brand? Budget, that's definitely a consideration. And a good question to ask is, how much can I spend? And how do I spend available dollars more effectively? So it's really important to do your research and really understand your product and your customers. And this will help you be able to effectively sell your product